Okay, let's... So this is garbage. Okay. Okay, I think we're good.
Alright. Alright, so I can leave this together tube thing?
Oh yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So basically, elevator explanation. We don't expect LGD to hold a candle to RunAway.
Mm-mm.
It's interesting that they get a map. It's the map where Sum and Su is in. They're playing Hammond, but they're like, this is more a strategy for them and not necessarily based on Garden.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing like a divey setup initially, at least. Is that even like? Is the Lucio there in order to get Moira into the Brigitte into the action, or it's strange in that
It's
sense,
probably
right?
more like a peel thing for
Yeah.
them.
Agreed,
Okay.
it's peeling for Zen, yeah.
Okay. Because what do you think they're expecting? Like just dive?
So,
Yeah.
so I think you have your Tracer, your Sombra, and your Hammond are all like flankers. They don't stay in the fight that very long. They take weird routes. The Brigitte you can use to be able to kind of have that more static option that can still kind of heal and support while locking down a spot, I think.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna see her play a lot around probably that pillar by Garden, by Dojo, that people use various phallic callouts for. And probably on point as well.
Thank you for that
Runaway
comment.
though, yeah, of course. And then Runaway, I don't like Haksal on Sombra, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm. Yeah. It's certainly interesting. It's that meta interpretation. So let's roll this, and I hope this rolls now.
Wrong way.
Okay, let's mute this.
Haksal ever played hit scan?
What's up?
Has Haksal ever seriously played hit scan?
Oh, wow. That was actually a nice call by Only Wish, right? Or do you think that was just random? Did you see that?
What do you mean?
Did you just press play? Don't do that. I'm going to
Wait.
murder you.
No.
So, yeah, Chinese casting should be muted at this point, correct? Unless by some black magic it's popping up again. Just keep an eye out on Haksal in outside house, and then here. You think that's I think he's just trying to hit tanks, right?
Yeah,
just
it's
gets him.
super normal to go try and lock down Dojo for your Zen, so I think the Lucio just escorts him through there and then is shooting through the door. I don't think I don't think it's a spy check.
Mm-hmm. By Haksal being put like out of stealth, is that what basically allows him to grab so much space?
And just how much space you can roll out with Hammond.
That, yeah, with that speed, right? Yeah. Oof. Okay, that was.
He got a fast ult. Gaga already has ult to invest here.
Mm-hmm. That's actually. I guess I can use arrow keys, right? I should be able to. So let's see this again.
YouTube, yeah.
So Runaway decides to go through white instead, which I think is the right call when you have the D.Va and the other team has the weaker tank line. And then, it's a fat anti onto Gaga here and a nano. So Twilight, big plays.
Well, that's not what kills him, though. Is it? No. No, he recommits, but that was... He tried to get into the backline or to the middle in order to ult, but... Yeah.
Did he get hacked or something by Haksal? Like, I don't know. I don't think he
Hammond
did.
ult in that spot is so nice, though.
It is nice, but I feel like this is an overcommittal on these, little, like, very strong strategies.
Sure. It's like you have to time it right.
What is going on? I'm pressing back and it's going forward. This is... This is amazing.
It's going back. I see it go back.
Yeah, but not...
It just doesn't go back very far. Press the arrow a few times.
Okay, so...
There we go, yeah.
I want to see that again, because it feels like... Everyone has ult so quickly here, and it's nuts.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The EMP from Eileen is just too big.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe Slime got a beat off that soon.
Yeah, that's nuts.
You think you have a beat that soon and you probably hold it. You expect them to have EMP quicker than the beat, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're popping on Lucio, I feel like it's right to hold it there. And LGD, because they got the cap early, because Runaway went white, they win one fight and they already got 50%. This is nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the weakness of the Brigitte, is she is not sturdy at all.
What's that worth hacking for?
What?
There?
Was it worth the EMP or hacking the
yeah,
hammer?
sorry, the EMP, yeah.
I think so, just because the one pick on the Brigitte. So I think this dive comp from LGD, when you have the point, you can use the Brigitte as bait and collapse on the dive.
These are
So
slide checks. Yeah, sorry.
I think the EMP is a good play here because they're really deep. If they don't cleanly get a couple of kills here, I don't think killing just the Brig is enough. I like committing and getting the kill here. The issue is if you don't get the Lucio, but you do. But if you had not gotten the Lucio here, you probably just flat out lose the round.
Do you even get him if he doesn't jump from that geometry?
I can't tell, to be honest. But it seems like very close, like he barely got the Lucio, which is why that makes it a more questionable EMP in my mind.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I guess it was. I didn't see that Twilight died this soon after the first frag. That fight wasn't, like, probabilistically decided yet.
Yeah, the supports just ran all the way in with them.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably what you do against, like, a split comp like this. You just try and deathball with your Ana on top of everyone. You can see how Twilight's just constantly staying right near the tanks because of the split comp.
That's unfortunate. That is switch off. I would have liked to see how that goes down in the back line, but okay. Oh. That was nasty, yeah.
Fuck?
Yeah, that was nasty.
Who dies to call mech damage on Tracer? Wow, that armor pack onto Only Wish. Jeez.
Okay, Aline. Did he just grind? Oh, no. Okay, that just looked weird.
How did Tracer die in that ult? I feel like so many Hammonds are misusing the ult. I thought this ult was really badly placed. But somehow he got the kill with it. Wow.
Yeah, I think that's a good room to use ult in sometimes just because it can stick to all the, like, walls and stuff, but there was no one in there. Like, I don't understand where the value was.
Yeah. I think right now Hammond is still like, the Hammond ult is so misused right now.
Yeah.
Which is normal because he's the new hero, right? He is quite.
I also feel like Hammond suffers from the Spider-Man issue. Like, Spider-Man is pretty good in New York. He probably would suck a lot in Saskatchewan, right? Like, if you don't have tall buildings or taller structures to swing from, and that includes ceilings. So fighting outside already is sort of problematic in order to get air to get your pile diver going, right? It's probably a little bit more demanding to get solid engagements there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or are there techniques which you can exploit in order to get that air that you require? Because, okay, so in the small rooms with roofs, it obviously isn't an issue, but...
I don't know if there are any... I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think... If there's no, like, structure, I don't think you can get...
They're spy checking a lot, by the way.
Yes.
LGD, that is.
Yeah, they're constantly having Briggs swing around.
But I
get fucked.
Dude, this is actually terrible by Haxel, I think.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
So, he had to have heard it. I remember watching this live.
He
and
walks in front of him.
Yeah.
What I want to know is why don't you lead with like right click if you think they've got transcendence, right?
Yeah.
Because you still force the trance because they die during the regular hack.
Yeah.
But you should know they have transcendence.
Yeah. I think
because they didn't
have
use
to
it
know.
so far.
Also,
exactly.
Just as a general heuristic or the rule of thumb, like I think it's definitely worth being behind the Zen and just getting 2 in your EMP than standing in front of the Zen and threatening to have your EMP cancel on him, but getting 2 others. I think like transcendence is way too important here too.
Yeah, the trance is the win condition, and you
it's the only ult out as
make
well.
the play. Yeah, you don't make the play to shut it down at all.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is forgiven. This is a play someone would make if you're sick, right?
Maybe,
yeah.
I think
this is yeah.
Aaron is the best fucking hero, dude.
Wow.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Haxal, like, historically hasn't had the strongest Sombra, even back in season 1 of Contenders when it was Sombra meta.
Yeah, has he ever like really played hit scan? I can't.
I mean, he did play a lot of Sombra in Korea season 1 because it was Sombra Tracer, and he and Stitch. He played. Yeah. He played the Sombra for them. He played it a decent amount, but it just wasn't very good.
Huh. Yeah, he's not one of those players who can play both hit scan and projectile, I think.
Okay.
So RunAway running their Ana goats because they love Twilight's Ana.
Yeah, they're mirroring.
Oh my god.
And Sominsu has an absolutely nutty Zarya, by the way.
Yeah, that's true. How do you... okay, let me actually try to understand the mechanics by which they won that fight, even though that observing wasn't very conclusive to finding that out.
Hard to see.
Let's see.
I mean, definitely the early Eileen death was a huge part of it.
So, okay. What is he even thrown up by? Probably Zarya, right? Or it isn't Lucio.
It must be.
Yeah, okay.
He's gotta like jump as he gets hit by a Zarya, right click or something.
Okay. Awkward.
Or the bubble comes a little bit too late on both sides.
Oh, Twilight is a champion, dude. Oh.
Yeah, that's both teams get a decent purple,
yeah, that's
but
decent, yeah.
But Eileen tries to get too aggressive while the rest of the team is backing up because they get fat purpled and he dies.
Yeah. So somehow just MG
and Ana gets completely cut off as well.
Yeah, I think it's a healing problem, but also that MG just soaked up way too much splash.
Yeah, not a fan of MG.
Did you see how Sominsu like went around the corner to reload?
Yeah.
It's just such a small thing, but like so good. He knew exactly when he had to reload.
Sominsu just got launched by a Zarya right click as well. Are they doing that on purpose?
Yeah.
And then that was just
Oh.
Bumper getting outplayed. Like, what the hell?
This
And
is
then grab.
this is always big problem.
Okay. How? All right.
Yeah. I have no
This
idea how
this
that's even possible.
this should have been a much crazier wipe for LGD. They get in a grav duel with no Reinhardt in point blank range. How did
Zarya
they
has nano.
survive?
Someone's has nano.
How does she... Like, Bumper just gets... This is so strange. Look at this.
He gets booped off the map.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he charges in, gets
Oh, yeah.
stunned, and booped off the map, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they grav duel with no Reinhardt and somehow are surviving.
Of course, yeah. Of course. Do you even lose ults at that point? You must know that the opponent also has ults. So now you're just losing the... Okay.
Oh.
That wasn't a good one. Did he really just do that? Wait. Oh no, did you see that?
Oh, the Shatter get cancelled?
No, not the Shatter, the remake.
MG sleep. Wait, is the remake gone then?
Oh, that,
the
that
ultimate
was
is
slept. That
The
was
Yeah,
ultimate
it
slept.
does.
is gone?
No, it does.
I
It does.
didn't
If
think
you
it
get
was a big deal.
if you get CC'd out of remake, you lose
Oh
all your
my
percentage and you
fucking
have to
God.
rebuild it. Yes, that is 100% real.
That was
Twilight the God.
Holy... Look at this, dude. This is some...
He's like waiting to peak for the remake.
Look at this. Like, I'll narrate it. Oh, I'm going to throw my mech. Remake. And in this moment, he knew he fucked up.
Fuck. That probably won the fight.
Yeah.
Even though, yeah, Twilight definitely won the fight because Gaga also was purpled at that time. I don't know how he did that.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah, he came around the corner, slept the diva, and then once the diva slept, no one's gonna eat your nade.
That's also audacious as hell, by the way, to peek that as an
Yeah.
Ana.
What a play, dude.
Yeah. I don't think if he doesn't do that, that RunAway has any business winning that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a random self-destruct.
Oh!
They re-engage with beat, but
Hacker.
I think that got patched.
Was it?
I don't think it got patched. I can do it on live right now.
Oh, nice.
Are you sure? Did you try recently?
I was doing it when we were playing 2 days ago?
Oof.
Oh, really?
I'll pull it up.
Okay, Bumper. Where does Bumper come from? Let's see. You do pronounce the P in Bumper, right? It's not like one of those weird
Yes,
things in
you
English
do.
where you say
You
bomber,
overpronounce
like
it.
in bomb, you know, what we say bomber. The StarCraft 2 play bomber. Okay.
Bomber. You do. Like, at least if it's supposed to be pronounced Korean, you pronounce it. So he just used cheddar.
Wow. That's a fatty one. You came from behind, by the way.
Yeah. Can we, like, from outside?
Yeah, I actually have no idea how they didn't see him, I suppose. I guess he was...
Well, he can wait outside the corner. The only way to see him is if you're in spawn at that time.
Thing is...
If he's like, see,
oh,
he's
there
on
he
the
is.
right.
Okay. For people who
So
don't
you can
see
only
it,
see him when you're
he's
in
there.
spawn, I think.
Yeah.
They did not patch it, bro.
Okay.
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. So you can't also see it from there. That's an interesting angle that you can't see that. That's interesting. Okay. So...
If they had seen him, it would be so over though.
Oh.
Boom. Yeah, that's a fatty.
Ouchie.
And Twilight's just so good at keeping all these tanks up as well, man. He lands fat purples, he keeps his own tanks alive. Like, this guy's so good.
Yeah.
Look at Hammond though, he's still
It's
swinging.
also very interesting how, like, I think nowadays the nades are so much clutcher than the sleeps even.
Yes. In the Nanoblade era, it was the sleeps that were required, but now in the tank era, it's the antis.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So that was 100-0. That was a complete roll.
Yeah.
And I think that one early fight win for RunAway was like the cleanest one from like okay, I understand, like this makes sense why this happened. The other two fights were like them just making clutch individual plays and pulling out fights.
Here's a
The
question
Hide
from
Shatter
chat.
and the Twilight Flank.
Real quick. Banter Live's question is: wonder what happens to Goat's comp in the next patch, if anything at all. Do you think the changes to Farah and like Torbjorn will at all help with that?
I mean, what changes? Well, with Torb, it's hard to tell. His regular changes, I don't know if he's better against tanks without his ult, except his gun is a little bit better, I guess. But that doesn't seem like a good reason to run him. I definitely don't think he'll be that good on like Control Center, like or most control maps. But the Pharah changes, the only things that I can think of, like they changed her damage to be more direct hit oriented, so I think that means she'll build up her barrage slower against a Goats comp, right? Because the benefit is usually you shoot it into a crowd of tanks, it hits 3 people and you get a ton of ult charge. But with less splash, she gets barrage slower. The only other thing they changed is her rate of fire, which I guess might make up for it if you're landing all of them. And the Conk Blast. Conk is actually probably pretty underrated against Goats comp. Maybe that's enough, but I don't know. I think Goats will still be very strong.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure. Like the splash thing, I'm not even sure if the faster rockets even like are that good or that much of a buff against Goats. Probably not. But yeah,
Well,
we'll see.
I just think if after 60 seconds you've fired 5 more rockets because your higher rate of fire, maybe that makes up for the loss of splash damage. I just don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know how many direct rockets Ferris could hit. Like, even though the tanks are big, you're probably flying at a considerable distance, so it's not easy to hit everyone.
It's the thing though, I don't know if you want to anymore, because are tanks really going to get hit by long range rockets? I don't think.
That's the thing, right? That's the thing. But is close range shooting really like possible? Like, if they have Diva, you're still just like, fuck.
Yeah. All right. Guess only time will tell. I mean, it's fun theorizing, but it's like it's quite hard to tell based on patch notes. It's gotta be.
And this is the play!
What the hell?
No.
Hammond is the best hero in the fucking
No, what am I seeing?
So this is what I was talking about, where the first 2 rounds, like, okay, RunAway plays kind of bad on Garden. They just completely stomp on Control Center. And then we come here to Night
the
Market.
Gaga show. That's Lady Gaga's show, dude.
And
90.
Gaga just pops off with the craziest rollout you've ever seen.
That's insane. That alone.
Wait, let's count together what the others have in total, dude. That's like 4, 10.
Somin Su makes it back to point for the second fight as Zarya with like 15% ult, dude. It's brutal.
He's just.
It's also everyone is jumping at that very moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like.
La la
Wow.
la la.
Wow.
Like, such a clean win, so much ult percentage.
Oh
I think
my
this is a good
god.
Hammond map. And then you also give no ult percentage
I mean,
out to the other.
there's no way that you should ever go right side, right?
This is no, I think
He has
it's
ult
good
long
to go right
before the
side.
point even
Yeah, I
got
think this is the
unlocked.
best opening to a control round I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
But this works once, dude. Like,
Right. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, I don't
oof.
know if Runaway losing this was that indicative, because
Mm.
that is just a 1 in a million play, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like the proxy 4 gate.
That is amazing. Where did he use his ult? In
Wow.
the airport.
Yeah, you just.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So they go Sominsu on McCree now. Okay.
Which is so weird, right? That's another Stitch hero. It just feels weird that they put Sominsu in just to play Zarya on Control Center.
Mm. Wow.
Oh,
Oh
bad
Nice.
my
play.
Yeah.
gosh. It didn't look good at all, Eileen.
I don't know where Rika is getting these kills from, but he's way out. Like, what is he doing? Why is he just on point? Just
He used his ult to get away.
yeah,
Good
but he
old
wasn't
Zarya.
that low. He was sitting at 200 HP all the time, right?
Yeah.
Runaway got the cap, and they were like chasing the rest of his team, so he went back to go
To get the cap back.
flip
Yeah,
the point, and
that's
they end
possibly
up
the
winning
worst
the
hero
long
to do it
fight.
with, right? Though I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, worst ability to do it with, at least.
Okay, so oof. Nice one.
Twilight did not have the
Ult.
EMP up, yeah. Or the trans up.
Yeah. If he had ult, that would have been easily prevented.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So that's that translocator is really far back.
Yes.
Now this fight could be, or should be Runaways.
Oh.
Wow!
What? Okay, I don't care about them not getting on point, but why did Haxal go
What's
back?
the EMP? What's the EMP there,
Why
dude?
did he fucking go back to spawn? Like,
There were so many bad things about that play from Haxal, bro. He's running into
oh,
people. He's running in before he's ready to EMP. He EMPs after the trans, and then he teleports away without taking
seriously.
any damage. So just that was very, very poor. Oh my god.
Play is so broken, by the way. Okay, so let's see this again. My bad on this one. Okay, this is the Eileen one, and then after that it's.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does this develop?
So your Runaway will have way more ultimates. LGD basically only has trans, Runaway has like beat, Janu ult, Haxal ult, and they're close to Transcendence. So in theory it should be theirs.
For sure.
But like, look where he puts his trans locator, and then
Yeah.
like he doesn't have the need to port back. First of all, why? Okay, let's see if he actually walks in front of.
Who did they like? Who was like? Often it's like someone is saying "I will touch," and then someone else from the opponent team
Maybe
gets
the
in the
Hammond
way.
just kicks
So-
them away. To be fair,
I mean, even then it would have been
Oh.
close.
Secret already trans. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
did they have anyone even going towards point
Yeah,
at
I
all?
don't think so. I don't think
maybe
so.
Hammond just kicked them away, and they were afraid of going.
If so, not
like,
by much.
I think Sominsu on the Brig was trying to get there. I also don't like the swap onto Brig. I am not a particularly big fan of Brig Sombra when you're running these triple support comps, just because you have so little damage, especially when you have a Sombra that wants to teleport out of the fight right away. How are you gonna ever capitalize on this EMP when your DP your only follow-up damage is a Brigitte?
So okay. Wait, who's this? Oh no.
What's up?
Haxal.
No. Like the bumper. Okay.
So the
Why is he
problem
going lower then? If he needs to touch, just jump over it.
The problem on Haxal's side is that he accidentally runs into the other Sombra. He didn't see her, and that's why there was the transcendence, because LGD called Sombra.
I'm not sure. I mean, at this point, then it's just.
That was unfortunate, but Haxal, like, he didn't get any damage. He just fought it back.
Yeah, I mean, it was basically over at this point. I think he knew.
Nah.
Or it's one of those situations where you don't know that your translocate is up and you wanted to throw it towards the point or something. I don't know.
He just threw it like
no, it wasn't
4
one
seconds
of those.
earlier.
He wasn't looking towards the point for throwing it. I know what you mean, but I don't think that's what's happening here.
Okay, so.
Oi.
Okay, this is still a rollout, right? So. What's going on here? This player is so what?
That Hammond player was fucking sick though.
Yeah.
That
pretty nuts.
was amazing.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, he just rolled out coming out of spawn on not on coast side, on like mega side.
Did I just
stayed
break
on the
that
ground.
Player? I think I just broke it.
Should I press
Here.
play?
Let me try. Oh, when I play, it like pauses after a second.
Same.
What do I do? Can I restart this? You're the owner of the room anyway, aren't you? Can you like reload the?
Oh. No, you're the owner. I gave you ownership.
Okay.
But it's working
now.
Okay.
Does it run for you?
Yeah, that works.
Oh.
All right.
Nice.
Chill out, Rika. Not destroying the railings in 2018, Jesus.
They have the
That's
overlay. They have the overlay up top wrong.
In what sense?
They say RunAway on defense, but all the LGD people are who's playing defense. All right, they take it down because they realize it's messed up. But LGD's playing defense and they're running the same thing. The Hammond Brigitte as their tank line.
Genji, yeah.
Yeah, but they want it with the Sombra Genji this time. And RunAway running classic RunAway comp.
I feel like I've never seen Hammond Brigitte before. Maybe I'm wrong.
Other Chinese teams have definitely run it. They ran it in the qualifiers.
Okay, I haven't watched China really.
They run it with Monkey as well.
Yeah, like I feel like normally you'd see another, like you'd see Diva or Monkey or Zarya.
This is frustrating to see because like LGD gets an early kill, and by all rights this should now be cleanup, but they don't really follow the same targets whatsoever. Even though they have plenty of setup, Gaga gets like 2 supports twice in this pile diver, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this style of comp isn't really about having a coordinated dive onto one target.
Well, I'm sure, but if you're getting pile diver targets, I think then someone should be there, right?
Sometimes. Yeah. I mean, not always. Sometimes you're pile driving to CC and distract people while your flankers are killing other people.
I mean, sure.
I don't know. They do some weird stuff with this comp, I think. They have some weird stuff they try. Whoa. Oh, did that stick not get the kill? Was there?
No, I don't think it was a stick.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
It's interesting that the defense ends up rotating into the bar and then recontesting out of the bar using the trans. That's not something you're used to seeing. Oh, Hacksaw just got bopped. Was that a whip shot that knocked him back?
I think so, yeah. Also, Rika really had, like, gave his support some breathing room with that pile lever in the beginning of the fight. That's actually why they are still in concession for that. Well, it's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think MG is better on the Brig than the Diva, in my opinion. This Brig actually looks kind of good. He's like staying with the back line when he needs to. He's not getting too over aggressive when the fight opens up. That's what happens to so many Brigs. The fight gets like halfway open and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna go run and stun someone, and they're just completely tunnel visioning on their stun target.
Is RunAway just hell-bent on, like, is that their mechanism? They see a Doomfist and they just switch McCree? Is that what they do?
Brig McCree. I think this is the counter to like Doomfist's heavy dive or disrupt the tank compositions is Brig McCree. Like it's a hard counter in my opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Easy CC.
And tons of damage.
And
That's
tons of damage.
Another sleep.
Where was Hammond ult there?
I think it's also it's Brig McCree, but then also Anna, because it's very easy to then get an anti on.
Yeah, you can just do the same thing with Zendo with the Discord.
Sure. Yeah. True.
I think the difference is just that Zen's a little more vulnerable if you can find him like split off. But if the Brig and McCree are positioning with the Zen, at least one of them, it's very hard for the Doomfist to get anything done, I think.
Is your video also loading?
No.
No, mine is running.
Really?
Yeah, it's been playing for a while, yeah.
Oh man.
They capped the point already.
Yes.
Really?
Right, let's pause. I paused. Should I be able to pause?
Mine's still playing, so.
I might have to refresh my browser, I think.
Wait, I click on the synchronized button. Let's see what
happens. I'm refreshing.
Nothing happens.
Can you give me the YouTube link again, or? Oh no, I left your room for some reason. Why? No, I didn't. The room's just recreated, and you're not inside anymore, right? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, let me.
Just rejoin under the same.
Click the link. Well, no, just click the link that was in the Discord. Just don't show Discord.
Yeah, but then it doesn't open the YouTube video.
Oh, I think I'm in. Am I in? Are you Craven Bandicoot?
Yes, I am.
Okay, just reload, like refresh.
Just refresh, and it'll take me back in.
Yeah, it will take you back in, but I don't have the YouTube video link.
I'm the elephant.
SNC elephant.
Can you give me the YouTube link so I can put it in?
It should be in our Discord DMs, right? It's the most recent link.
No, that's just the video, the syncvideo.com.
Oh,
no,
you mean the
DMs. I sent it to Yiska. That's how he had it earlier.
Wow, you don't send me DMs at all.
No.
Last also the problem is that
asked you in DMs if you love me, you were confused.
Yeah, I was confused. You're right. Wait, what happened to my?
Yeah, no, you're not in anymore.
Yeah, it just went away. What?
That's what you get for being a sincere elephant.
Is my download just crapping out or something? Steam!
No, you're worsted ketchup.
Ketchup. I deserve that.
Sadly, the quality is pretty badly, but okay.
All right.
Okay.
So we're playing about 2:10 left. See, okay, yeah, this is a play where they retreat into the bar and recontest with the trans after sound barrier runs out. They wait out the sound barrier.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, and then recontest. That's a really good play, I think.
Hammond is no way to. So they can
Maybe
now
the twist
retreat.
was
Yeah,
burnt a little bit early.
sure, but I don't think he gets out
Like
on
1 or 2 seconds more.
possible. Yeah, Hammond wasn't there at all. MG gets Stitch.
Yeah, and I don't know. A Doomfist, Sombra, Hammond comp is real good at chasing kills down. So you can draw it out, get some more ult charge.
I feel like LGD should forward this.
Well, yeah, so this is, I agree, and the reason for that is because RunAway swaps. So even though LGD has to invest double support, RunAway doesn't have a good way in. Except
just
when Gaga
destroy
just
the-
suicides.
Yeah.
But you
Just
just get
destroy the
you
hand.
just get stunned, and yeah, there wasn't even a Discord, there wasn't a Sombra hack. Can you back up and see what killed him?
What the
How did he
fuck?
die
Dude,
that
I don't. Why does Rika commit on the Winston instead of McCree? I get that McCree might have roll, but
Okay, let's see.
it's such a low value play.
I feel like Gaga gets excited.
He goes in.
I always get excited when I'm Hammond.
So he's animation locked already by his pile diver.
Well, no,
And
he's not. He comes out of pile driver.
Yeah, and then gets flashed. Yeah.
He comes out to try and use shields, I think, and he literally gets stunned before he can use shields, and then he just gets killed. What a bot.
Yeah, no, but pile diver is just very. Look at this. So he's up there. Boom. Now he can't use his shield at this point in time. Correct?
Right, you have to be in mech form to use shield, so you can't use it while you're a ball. That's why he goes into mech form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you do unball once while you use it, but still, I think there's a delay where you're animation locked while pie diving. And then obviously Stitch gives it. I love this player. But anyway, like he gets flashed, and then that fight is basically over.
Yeah, he gets flashed in anti
Then
there.
again, I mean the timer is
That's
terrible,
an
but
ICMP. Look where the Doomfist is going! No, not
oh my god, what?
Janu with the
No
super
way.
clutch 2K he had no right to get.
Wow.
What the hell, dude?
If you had Doomfist in this situation.
Whoa, did he go down to 2 HP there? Was Gaga literally at 2?
I think so, yeah.
This is a crazy close fight back and forth, honestly.
Oh my god. Electric Cowboys and stuff? Oh.
Was that through armor pack? Damn.
Do they get ground again? Wow. Secret has been spending 40% of his playtime in death
Walking
swing,
back.
and then 50% walking back. Yeah. Oh, Rika's. Yeah.
How does RunAway win this fight? What the hell?
Stitch comes back on Doomfist as well. Huh.
I think that's like 80% Janu's self-destruct. Even with
Yes.
Gaga dying, LGD was still gonna win that fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
50% that and 20% Doomfist jumping on Winston.
I mean, that's a mega throw, I feel like. There were 3 ults up, and all they had to do is win that one.
All you had to do was win.
I don't hate that they switched off Doom here. Simply because it's hard to contest.
Yeah, it's like full counter.
Same.
Oh.
Just get off.
Another one!
Yeah, just get off at this point.
Off what?
Like, Hammond.
Wrecking ball.
But wait, I don't understand that. Did he get... What was that? Let's see.
That was big.
Getting whip-shotted out of the thing so
Yeah,
you stop
was he whip
sliding.
shot?
Yeah.
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 Wait, where's the...
This must feel so awful, dude. You're like, I'm fucking
I'm
balling.
coming in.
I'm walled. Oh.
Wow.
And you just get stopped right in front of everyone to get chunked for 400 damage. That's so good.
Wait, okay, so... Okay, let's see this again, because...
Can we look at Doomfist throwing again? I want to make sure my point is clear.
Did MG, like, throw Gaga back into the... Because it almost looked like a Roadhog hook, but... Let's see. Okay, so Bumper has to jump back on this one. I remember that.
It was a pretty decent stun onto Bumper in the air there, actually.
If they hadn't
So
dropped down,
here
they should have
he
been
comes in.
able to kill
Now?
Bumper,
Wait,
actually.
now here? Oh, yeah, he gets whip shot back. Wow.
And then, yeah, slapped whip shot.
He
all
gets
with
stunned
CC.
by McCree and then Brig whip shot and then slept.
Yeah. I mean, you're not
Nuts.
having fun at this point. Yeah, that's some WoW Arena stuff. Yeah, I mean, this is...
This is the best moment, dude.
Oh man.
Aww. Just jump off the map.
What's stronger? A metal ball or one whippy boy?
One whippy goal.
True. Stitch is just well versed in the art of right clicking.
Rika gets shut down during high noon and swaps Doomfist here. So they're going more all in on this disruption kind of Doomfist, Sombra, Hammond comp, which again I think is meta, but this is the meta like rock, paper, scissors counter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, I really do feel like the meta is like a rock, paper, scissors with Goats losing to this Sombra Doomfist and then Brig McCree beating the Sombra Doomfist but losing to Goats. So.
Yeah, I feel like nothing might be a hard counter because if you have Zarya and Doomfist, you might be able to block one of those CCs. At the same time, your
Wow. The late
Goats
value.
comp might not be hard countered by the Doomfist, but in some
Yeah.
way it is, kind of.
Yeah, not a complete hard counter. It's like a soft RPS.
Yeah.
And that's why we see some of the Chinese teams that run this strat, they have their solo tank as a Zarya instead of a Hammond.
Mm-hmm.
So they can pocket the Doomfist. So you can avoid that CC. And obviously your main tank isn't running in getting CC'd. But that is another way to make space, honestly, is you just go in, get CC'd by everything and die, and then your Doomfist now doesn't have to be afraid of getting CC'd.
Don't jump on the fucking tank again.
Oof.
Oh my god, he just
Did
flies
Gaga...
out.
No.
Fuck.
Gaga actually didn't die. Okay.
Actually got out alive as well. This is...
No, Gaga did die! Oh my god, did you see
Killed
that?
himself.
That's
No, I didn't
unreal, dude. Oh my...
I only look at Doomfist.
Did you see how that happened?
No, back it up.
That's when he tried to kill... Okay, so this fight obviously is over. And then they try really hard to get Janu. And Janu flies off and... Watch now. Wait,
Yeah,
here?
he's hanging there.
Okay, where is he? Here.
What are you doing down there?
No, and then he swings back and
get
forth
back.
and tries to get back, but he can't. Look at how long it takes. Look at how long it takes.
I'm hanging.
And now he's like, oh, I can't do it, guys. I can't do it.
I'm hanging.
Oh no.
Once more. Wow.
So many sad Hammond moments already on this map.
He had that really happy Hammond moment on Lijiang though.
Yeah, that's true. But they were two funny sad moments at the very least.
Oh, that was a fat one. Did you see that? That was a
The
4-man
slam.
diver, yeah.
Yeah, but you don't got that follow up, especially
Yeah, I
when you're
know.
not slamming the McCree.
Rika
Go on the
gets
tank.
infinite ultimates as well. Oh, nice.
Ouch.
Mm.
Yeah, Rika finally ults Squishy.
Ow.
So
Johnny
smart.
with another great bomb, bro. Johnny's
Yeah.
bombs have been on point.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think RunAway at this point, if I'm remembering correctly, just decides they're gonna keep running this terrible comp. We're just gonna run triple support McCree.
Nice.
Do they full hold them?
I don't remember, but I know they play the first point with Stitch on McCree on the high ground right on point by the dock.
Is anyone still alive in chat, by the way?
There's 4 viewers. One of them is me.
The chat, like, if my chat is not bugged, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people that aren't me. Aren't us, sorry. But I'm not sure how I even update that.
I think if you set yourself as invisible,
No, okay.
you won't show up in the viewer count maybe, but you will show up in the viewer
Oh.
list.
Oh.
I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. Well, I'm set as invisible, so
Yeah, me
one of
too.
those 4 is not me.
Yes.
I can't see you in. Yeah, okay.
You can't see?
No, I can't see you in the list, yeah. As a
I
moderator,
yeah.
typed
probably.
in chat.
Exactly. Exactly. You can see them in the list, but not as they won't show up as a watching viewer for some reason.
I don't understand. Shouldn't it be the other way around?
Yes, you would think.
Probably.
Alright, so they are running the Brig McCree.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the play here. You definitely expect if LGD ran this funky dive for most of defense on Blizzard World that they'll be playing some sort of dive on offense, so you just run this Brig McCree comp. LGD running the triple tank dive though, with Rika on the Winston. This is interesting. I think this could potentially work against the Brig
This is
McCree.
super dive, dude.
Yeah.
This is what I tell plebs in ranked, and they actually know what I mean.
Oh, but Stitch just instantly rotates into the bar.
Is that what they call dotes?
Dotes?
Yeah, people
don't
call
know.
it dotes. I hate that.
Do
They say
they?
it because it's dive goats. Yeah,
No,
like
no, no.
4
Probably.
people.
We are saying that it's like we are naming it now, and it's going to be called super dive.
Super dive? That's confusing though, because mega dive is like the Lucio Brig backline with Doomfist dive.
Just forget that word.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, I vote for intonating it differently.
Super dive.
Super duper dive. Super dive. See, that works.
All right, so they bail on the super dive.
Fuck.
They think it's not gonna work because Stitch is like, I can just stand in this building, and they're like, shit, you're right. So they
Back to goats.
They swap onto goats, but now the problem is I can just stand on top of this building. So, but again, I think that obviously I think RunAway will be able to win a few fights here just because they have the ult charge because LGD played the super dive and failed. But McCree in general, even I think Blizzard World, that high ground is a pretty ideal like range and spot for McCree to try and damage goats and to be safe doing it. I still think McCree just gets so little value into a tank comp like this. So.
It really feels like Gaga just presses shift on cooldown.
Yeah, that's kind of how the East plays goats, though. They don't play it with the Reinhardt carry.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they use the Rein charge just to go in.
That was well executed.
They're okay with letting their main tank die to make space.
Rika is good, right? Like Rika.
Well, except for his Doomfist ults.
Was actually correct decision. Come to terms with it, boy.
Yeah, Rika is a like a crazy flexible player. He's played support and off tank.
Wow.
Before, and he's not like he was not their DPS player before Shy mysteriously disappeared.
So mysterious. Where could he go?
The question is, which Overwatch League team did he go to?
What?
Could it be the same as Gouchier?
It certainly could be.
Good shit.
So how did LGD actually make that cap happen? I want to know what happened with like Stitch's.
I think Rika just really like. Okay, so they get a sweet charge. That's also supported by Rika pretty well after his graph.
We went back kind of far. It looks like.
Yeah, I don't know what is happening. This is already capped. What? I'm telling you, I'm pressing back and this player doesn't have it. And now it's bugged again. Oh god. Shoot. Oh no. Okay.
It's working now.
It's going. It's going.
It's at a good
We're
point
good.
too.
We're good. Okay.
Because they have rally
Here
armor
comes the charge.
and grab and nano and all this shit for runaway. So what happens? They grab just the diva and barely get the mech.
Whoa.
And Haxel just dies. What the fuck? Okay, and then the counter grab wins it. That makes sense. And again, Stitch can't really do that much. And this is like first point Hollywood, where you've got that like short high ground right next to the point, where Lucio can just very easily hop up onto the point and like kind of boop you and distract you. He's not going to be able to kill you, but he just stops you from doing anything for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. Would you go back to spawn if you're Stitch and just try to switch off McCree?
Well, probably not, because you really want to be at this choke right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting, actually.
Maybe you had the time.
Interesting evolution in the map, because people back in the day always used to not ignore that choke almost.
Yep.
Okay. Rika is holding it down.
Yeah, Secret got a really big ante that fight as well. And obviously Gaga opened it up with a good shatter, so just converting on their...
I think Bumper jumped, and that's why they got shattered. That's always unfortunate. Okay.
RunAway is getting, like, losing this game over their own space bars. Rip.
I think Slime should help. Oh, wow. Okay.
Not sure what Only Wish was doing there.
Yeah. What?
Baiting.
Yeah, it seems that way.
Sacrificial Only Wish.
It's my only wish that you guys would cap B of Blizzard World.
It's now depleted.
Do they though?
Wow. Did Bumper just... Wow. He shattered that. Okay.
Do they though? They should.
Oh!
What the fuck?
What?
Yeah.
This is a
They're not
hold.
getting it. What the hell?
Get kited.
This Shatter seemed like such a bad idea, but it somehow must have worked out.
What do you
Yeah,
usually
Twilight.
want in Nano if you're playing Ana goats? Like, just like get maximum heal value, or
If someone's getting focused and they're not gonna
Yeah.
get antied, it's always good. But if you're trying to play offensively, it's the Rein or the Zarya. Zarya if she's charged up, and Rein if you're trying to just like swing into a grab and build up a shatter, or just clean up like this. They're pushing up really far on Runaway up on this high
Sometimes if you're
ground.
focused hard, you really want to maximize your healing just by nanoing a low life target while you're reloading your gun or something.
Yeah,
Just
you
to
can
keep
use
them
it to
alive.
cancel the second half of your reload animation like a boss. Ooh, that was maybe a little preemptive nano there.
Yep.
Yeah. Now he's sitting there. Oh,
Oh.
that was a nice call to raise the shield, though.
Was that one of those big stunts into shadows?
No, they just killed the shield.
Okay. It kind of looked like it was a big stun.
There was a brig stun there, but I don't think the shatter came quick enough for it to be like during the stun animation. I don't know how that came off. Can you actually back that up?
Sure.
Because that was it. They definitely stunned him, but
Okay,
the shatter was like a full second after. Usually the timing has to be really tight.
Yep, it is. It is.
Okay, so
For a second, I thought that one
Look
of
at Twilight
those
up there. What the fuck?
Starcraft minions is like a Hammond.
Twilight's up there. Like,
yeah.
he could have just got slept right there or some shit.
Okay. Yeah, that.
Oh,
I think he thought
I
he would
probably
go. Yeah. That's unfortunate.
His shield's so low, yeah.
Oh no.
It was a stun shatter,
Yeah,
I
it was
think.
a stun
It was
shatter,
just
yeah,
a
okay.
really
It was
late
very
shatter.
late,
It was a really late shatter, yeah. Yeah, stun shatter's so good, man.
Why
That's
is
so amazing.
MG still in that fight? Should have been gone for a while.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, never mind. It's overtime. I'm done.
The
I'm
brick. The brick jumped down from above. I think Serena didn't know that she was there.
Yeah.
It's like really nice.
Yeah, Agilities likes doing that a lot as Brig if you ever watch him play. He likes going for
the toilet real quick.
He likes going for them fat flank stuns by dropping off of high grounds.
Okay.
So you can get a stun on the front line when they don't expect it, and you have like some tank that's playing kind of aggro, building ult charge, or trying to take space or something. Then all of a sudden, he did.
Mhm.
And yeah, that was I mean,
Wow.
at the end Stitch did swap off of the McCree and was on the Zarya, right? Ended up grabbing the cart there at the end. So I think you were right. Once they got away from that choke point, the reason he didn't want to swap was because he didn't want to run back and lose that choke positioning. But once they lost that fight, he's just like, yeah, the Zarya is the better pick here.
But all in all, that was closer than I thought, actually. This map, at least.
Yeah, I think maybe the first point defense looked good from LGD.
Yeah, and then they kind of got walled on
Yeah,
second point.
And third.
Third, they caught themselves like once, but yeah, after that
it was kind of rough.
wasn't
And then on
much.
offense, they tried super dive and it didn't work. Yeah, I don't
Still
know.
kept it in an okay time though, the first point.
Yeah, they just got rocked on second though.
Yeah, and I feel like one of those two fights they should have won. Like,
I have to open this
they were so
once
close.
real quick and pull out the paprika, and then I'm fine. Okay.
Paprika.
Paprika, dude.
Okay, I'll get off here though. I want to go to fucking bed.
Yeah, I think I'll do one more map, and then I'm probably also too tired.
Okay.
All right.
Well, talk to you tomorrow.
I do.
Yeah, thanks, Roy.
Okay. So when does this last map start? Here we go.
We going to Junkertown.
It's actually not the last map, of course, but... Okay. Does Eileen historically have a widow?
No.
Okay.
Well, like a mediocre widow.
Okay.
I would say a reasonable analog to Stitch.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Really?
whatever,
Wow.
maybe you disagree. I don't think Stitch is a very good Widowmaker.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think that's super controversial, but yeah.
I heard Benj say that he was the third best Widowmaker in Contenders Korea. Anyway.
I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, certainly better than Hureg.
Yes.
And yeah, both teams opting to run Orisa. LGD going double snipe.
I wonder what needs to happen in order to make Junkertown not Orisa territory.
I think it's just the first point that you really need
Yeah.
the Orisa on.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's just too open. You take too much poke for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. So Gaga just dies, and somehow Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight wins
kills
the sniper
Eileen.
duel against Eileen.
Yeah. I don't know how.
They have a nano blade at this point. It's crazy.
I don't know how Gaga died there on the brig, or on the Orisa rather.
Mm-hmm.
Enrica's on the Hog here instead of the Hanzo he was on a moment ago.
Why, when you're playing Rhine? Oh, that's a fat purple. Twilight is not. No, it wasn't actually Twilight. Slime.
Yeah, Slime is also nuts though.
So good if you can have two people then.
Yeah, I legitimately like. Is there a better backline right now
Yeah, I'm
in
not
the
sure.
world than Twilight Slime? I
Huh.
actually don't think there is.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Oh, maybe not the best boop there from Janu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might have a point actually. I'm not sure how good Ark is though on his off picks because he was never checked for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think his Lucio was reasonable, but I would say, I would give Slime the advantage on Lucio and honestly maybe Mercy. And definitely Anna, even though Ark has a good Anna too. There's a clean shot here, I remember that. Yep.
That's
Yeah,
the
you can
Rurik
win the Whittle.
position.
What's up? Oh, that position that Stitch was in?
Yeah. No, Eileen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rurik had pretty good plays twice on Junkertown. last season. Yeah.
So both teams just really going this same kind of Widow Genji, really greedy support line style. Not sure if I'm a fan running this on the offense here. I think it's really hard to keep your support safe, especially on Junkertown second. There's so many flank routes. Dear God, Haxal.
Wow. 1 HP. Oh. Okay. Damn. That makes me actually a little bit sad that we didn't get to see that match with Gushie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that it would have changed my expectations of the match. There'd probably have been some better plays, but I think it still would have been a pretty clear runaway W here.
Sure, but if I'm thinking of the limitations for LGD this match, it's probably Gaga is probably the biggest one. Like even on Hammond, where he had some good plays, he seemed to be having these weird situations where he just like loses fights single-handedly and pretty high frequencies.
I think it's just a strategic thing where when they're running that Hammond strat, like that's kind of his job is to just run in and make as much space, eat as many cooldowns as possible.
True, but he doesn't seem to be able to like adjust his limits based on switching comps. He always like tries to get into the backline situations and then overcommits and gets checked all night. I think there's a way to play Hammond more annoyingly and without
Less hard commit,
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you play him like a more pokey Winston until it's time to actually use pile driver.
I also think like he's probably you just use like the gun mode more.
Yeah, I think it's more about moving from place to place and doing a bunch of gun harass and kind of poking people.
Yeah.
Ooh, and Eileen gets blown up by a right
Wow.
click from Twilight. I think what happened there was that they Eileen was on the high ground and bumped into them, and Slime naded his feet, and Twilight killed him. It's rough, and they can't even get in, man.
Wow.
Yeah, and like this is not me trying to be a big Hacksaw fanboy. I think we've both discussed in the past that Hacksaw is honestly probably the biggest question mark on this runaway roster right now. As far as moving into Overwatch League, who is the most likely to have some problems if they do get picked up as a unit. I think Hacksaw is the easy pick there. But I think he's clearly a level above Rika on
Genji.
almost all the DPS they're playing.
Yeah.
But Genji particularly, it's just not even close. And that's not to knock Rika. He's not primarily a DPS player or hasn't been one in the past. Like I said, he's played healer and off tank. But he's one of those flexible players that, like, even though he plays healer or off tank, sometimes he'll flex onto other roles. So I understand, you're using that flexibility because you don't have shy, so you have him flex over. Like, there's no reason to expect him to be able to mirror Hawksall in a situation like this, but it's just a glaring disparity here. And yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I think they lost some time with some weird comps. I think starting out on the double sniper was weird. I think the Roadhog was also kind of weird.
Yeah.
Not a big fan.
Wait, that's not happening, right? Okay.
What's up?
Never mind. I thought it was way closer to the map starting for some reason. When they
Okay,
choose
and LGD is running their same thing. They're Ham and Brig on defense, but they're running it with the Sombra Genji. And I don't know. We had our complaints about his Doomfist. I probably like his
also
Doomfist
got
more
a
than his
sniper.
Genji.
Huh.
It's just so hard to play Doomfist on this first point. I think it's way too open. Oh, are they just gonna kill him here? Oh
Yeah.
no, Gaga,
Again,
no.
yeah.
So they're just all. I don't think that's really Gaga's fault. The entire team is literally holding at
Yeah.
spawn door.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a
Wow.
trash hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just let Hacksaw get onto high ground and just kind of shoot all of them from like 10 feet away. That's just very, I don't know, poor target prioritization. So who's he gonna hack here? Doesn't
He's
use
not.
hack at all.
Yeah. Just leave Break out to die on an island. I don't know. Don't like that much.
The thing about running this style comp with LGD is neither of the snipers for Runaway like have to be worried until you get onto them. There's no mid or long range threat,
But
so
they
they can
don't,
take
yeah.
whatever peaks they want
Yeah.
as long as they know there's someone near enough to help them from getting killed. Because they're
Killed
also
by
not going to
somebody, yeah.
get bursted. It's
Yeah.
not Doomfist who's going to like one combo them.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how this could work against the sniper heavy comp from Runaway. It seems like a really bad matchup for LGD.
Oh my god. Gaga jumps in and it's basically at 50%. Wow. Not having...
Yeah, Discord and the Widow headshot is just brutal. This is looking like a roll. The rally, I don't think is going to be anywhere near enough.
Wow.
Was he just trying to pull a Phosix?
What is
Was Secret
pulling a
trying to
Phosix?
Phosix right there? It's where you're in trans and you use Diva Bomb to like boop yourself up.
Oh.
Like an enemy Diva Bomb. You can use it to like launch yourself because you're invulnerable. It looked like he was trying to launch himself onto high ground using that.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, this is just a roll, man.
Yeah. Twilight is having none of that shit.
They just did absolutely nothing on defense.
Yeah, that was a demonstration of power.
Yeah, dominance.
Jesus Christ. Well, it was almost quick enough to finish the series, I suppose. Let's see. Hold on. Wait, what?
Oh yeah, this full Sky map is interesting.
Okay, so where does this start? Is this already full sky?
Yep, we're at a good spot right here.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So.
Match point, LGD takes us to Volskaya, and they're gonna run the Sombra.
Oh, was it losers
Doomfist
pick?
here? Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
So Sombra Doomfist with the solo brig, Haxall scouting out.
If there's any reason to watch this VOD, by the way, guys, like
this is after LGD did their attack, by the way.
Oh, okay.
We missed a round.
I
was like, why is Haxall here? He's on defense, and I was like, no, he's not on defense. He's attacking.
If there's anything to why you should watch this VOD, I think at this point it's quite likely that we're getting losers pick in Overwatch League next year.
I would be so surprised if we didn't.
It's probably losers pick, but it's probably still going to adhere to the map type.
Yes, yeah. So what I'm what I've been saying or hoping for a while now is that we get the loser pick and that we get the map pool expanded to 3 maps per type
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
instead of just 2 per type. Because when there's only 2 per type,
There's
uh,
not big.
picking the map is so binary, it almost makes it more boring than if we knew the maps. Uh, so if there's 3, there's at least some stylistic flair that can come in there. It can be a storyline you talk about, stuff like that.
The only problem I see with this is that the solution, the problem you're fixing with this is basically blowouts. Not really the map fatigue that players face in order to, having to practice so many maps and whatever. And also it being very hard for the analysts to predict beforehand or like give you the rundown like mid-series or whatever when the break is in the middle. So from that point, I'm not a huge fan. I also what it will do is it will make stomps much more impressive, I suppose. But
Yes, and I also think so. I think it'll be good in the sense that it will allow like bad teams to show what they're best at,
mm-hmm.
right? Which is a good thing. And I think it will also force good teams out of their comfort zones more often. You'll be taken to maps you're not good at. You'll be taken to maps where you can't run your favorite strat. I'm looking at you, Dallas Fuel Stage 4, having like you can't run the comp that they ran on every map in the game, but you can run that comp on 80% of the maps that were available in stage 4 just by luck of the draw. And that's one thing that I think it fixes is how I think you want the stages to feel distinct, but not too distinct in an arbitrary way. And I think when you limit it to just 2 of each one, if you end up in a scenario where you're like Boston or you're like Dallas Fuel, where you've got a map pool that just really favors your style of play, you're going to overperform. And then that's just kind of like a lame reason for overperformance, in my opinion. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So suppose Runaway is expecting Doom. That's why they preemptively put Stitch. Obviously, there's also high grounds to be considered, but
Yeah, some sort of dive comp definitely is what they're expecting, and they're trying to counter that with the Brig McCree comp on the classic Volskaya high ground. This could be vulnerable to a Widow, those long
mm-hmm.
sightlines.
Mm-hmm.
But they're right, they are up against the LGD solo main tank
Yeah.
dive comp they've been running. Sombra Tracer this time though. Rika playing so many different heroes today.
Yeah, that's actually true, yeah. Yeah, I think that's the 6th hero, I remember.
Are you counting Winston?
No.
Yeah, he played Winston in their super dive too. He's played a
Okay.
bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true.
Man, another
Wow.
sleep, man. Slime gets a 6 sleep. How are they both so good at Ana?
Yeah,
Oh, that's a big
that's
stick.
wow.
Rika's a gamer, dude. Oh, and
Yes,
Slime lands a
yes.
fat nade, dude.
Yeah.
Slime's so good. So that's interesting. Rika is able to build up a fast pulse bomb despite like not having the same like tank like to farm it on basically. Another entry anti.
Is
This is
Stitch
okay,
just
and
like
Eileen does swap.
okay, I'm going to duel this kid?
Oh, on Tracer? I think he just dies, so he's trying to make it back to the point.
I mean, there's other picks to do that with, but yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, who do you try and I mean from Stitch's hero pool, other than like a Doomfist panic swap, I feel like Tracer's pretty standard here.
Hmm.
Okay, and the whole back line, all three supports just safely hanging out over here. I really want to see Rika or Eileen actually be able to get onto them. Stitch is just getting completely zoned there. Got way too aggressive.
Yeah. It's actually
Can they get back in here? Oh, I don't think he meant to dodge that stun.
Yeah. Forced trance. Twilight's still sitting on his. Yeah, I don't think.
Good stun from Haxall, but he gets hacked. Okay.
He's back on
Stitch is
McCree.
back on the
Huh.
McCree this
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, because Rika's on the Doomfist. Okay.
Ouch. Ouch. That's a primal.
Yeah, Gaga just pops off for the cleanup here. And the rally helps him stall for a bit. Rika's probably gonna die. Can they come back here?
Oh.
Oh no, Bumper hit the
No.
bridge! He hit the bridge!
I think Lucia had actually something to do with that. Let's see.
Well, he got booped, but then he tried to jump, but he hit his head on the
Okay.
bridge.
Okay. Yeah.
That sucks.
Where's RunAway positioned? Are they? Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah, Bumper got the juggles.
Who?
Yeah, Runaway's just got Stitch in like kind of the classic further back position until they feel like they've got a dive set up, and then when it's time to dive in, Stitch is not afraid to literally just roll forward.
Mm-hmm.
He does not care at all.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think that lowering the roll cooldown for McCree on the next buffs might actually make this comp significantly stronger, because letting the McCree use the roll to reposition like aggressively, having it up every 6 seconds, is actually pretty big.
Yeah, it's
And
actually
Hacksaw going for the Young Jin flanks.
It's also a pretty big damage buff.
Yes, yeah. Especially against like tanks if you're trying to just put out a ton of sustained damage. Okay, so they're looking to group up 4 ults here for LGD, almost 5. They use the rally early for armor. I don't know how I feel about that. Rika gets stunned into sleep.
Oh,
and dies to the bomb from Janu despite the beat. That's so brutal, man. He literally just launches the bomb right onto Doomfist's sleeping chest.
I feel like they overcommit 2 ultimates then as well.
LGD?
Yeah, she probably let that die. They didn't even
Yeah,
really get ultimates out of their opponents. Like Twilight is still sitting on his trance, so.
Stitch and Hacksaw used their ults though to close out the fight.
I mean,
so it's
sure,
something.
but
it's something.
Yeah, I mean, still Deadeye.
Yeah, and Deadeye's gonna be up pretty quick, to be honest with you. I think Deadeye's actually pretty decent against these like spread dive comps though. Because you just make them all scatter and lose their positioning. Oh, missing the stun on that engage from Bumper just means he's gonna farm ult and walk away. Got that primal ready to go now. Man, Bumper is just taking up so much time, so much space, so much resources. What?
Yeah.
No. Oh, I thought he was gonna knock
them
her
were
off.
double hits, by the way. It's not quite Goucher like primals, but pretty close.
Yeah, Goucher's juggles are unbelievable, dude.
So I legitimately think I've not seen someone consistently doing them so well.
Yeah, I think he's got the best juggles in Overwatch.
Yeah.
He could have been like a fighting game player or something.
Yes, yeah,
It was nice.
definitely, yeah. Ouch. I wonder if Slime wants to continue peeking that, but yeah.
All right, so the EMP is going to close it out. That took a long time from LGD, to be honest with you. Runaway just kept getting so much value fighting away from the point, but once LGD like gets their triple support comp set up and forces Runaway's triple support comp kind of out of their positions, it's just easy to win, you know. Once you've got the corner angles with your Brig and Zen, and they don't have the corners to play with their Brig and Zen, it's very difficult. All right, so
Wireless mice are just here, aren't they?
yes, it's the future now. People use wireless mice now. No more bungees.
I'm not that advanced. I'm sorry, I don't have any commands. I wouldn't even know how to set that up.
Yeah, you gotta use like Streamlabs or Stream Elements or something. At least that's how I know how to do it. I don't know the old school way. I think this is a really hard comp to run on defense. Because so the reason that I think this is a hard comp to run on defense is because traditionally the way you run a dive comp on defense is you kind of ping pong the tanks to give everyone time to set up for a dive. You don't have a way to stall for time to set up a dive with this comp from LGD.
Yeah.
You just have to dive really hard and hope it works.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work a single time, you lose the point.
They just
and you have
they just go house and it's done, right? Doomfist shouldn't be able to get any alleviated points, and it's just like.
Well, you're okay with this because you're expecting.
Ouch.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just
what?
a random missile.
You just have to not get rotated on that hard. Eileen was just so out of position. And that was a really greedy translocator.
You now just have to play Ring Around the Rosie in a sense, right?
Yeah, and they just don't have a good way to stall for time. They're just gonna get killed. They don't have anyone that can soak up the attention.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that diva to go in and take the damage and to help keep your Winston alive. Brigitte just can't do that enough. She's not the big beefcake that Diva Mech is. Yeah, I don't know about this comp on the defense, man. It's just so hard.
Also, Gaga just seems done with Hammond. I think he realizes that Runaway figured that out. But it's interesting that how quickly they did.
Yeah, I think they just know how to kind of peel back, stay alive, and have great focus fire, and Hammond is just getting eaten up.
I mean, I think the problem for them in the first game was that Sumansu is just not as good at McCree as well as Stitches.
Yes.
So, oh my god, this is slaughter. Doesn't even really need to play it that early.
Yeah, this is just a complete domination here. We'll get a little bit of a contest. Nope. That's it. So very fast double cap from Runaway on this dive. I don't know. I really do think it's all off the back of Sombra getting caught. I think rotating through to like mega side for Runaway is good, but I don't think LGD is upset about just giving them that space and taking the opposite high ground, waiting for Runaway to have to actually get on the point and diving them. Like I don't think that is taking away LGD's win conditions or chance of winning at all by giving them that positioning.
Yes.
So I don't know, why are you getting caught in that rotation, especially as Sombra? Sombra shouldn't be getting caught in a defensive rotation.
At all.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was really the big issue there. Yeah, very confusing. So Runaways on defense again, and they're running the Brig McCree. Surprise, surprise.
Now Rika is just going to run that into them. Then again,
I think
if you're playing Sombra, can't you just check and then immediately swap off?
I mean, you can. I think you can still make this work, especially on Volskaya and with the dive tanks. I think it's doable. I think
So
you
hard to
actually
get high
hack the
ground.
brig. I think you just hack the brig and kill the brig. I think that's the play here.
It's still so hard to get the space high ground. How do you... I don't know. I feel like Doomfist needs high ground advantage, and now he's on low, so...
I don't know. I think your team can kind of scrap, and they do force Runaway to kind of rotate around and give them this high ground a little bit. I think it is pretty easy to rotate as a team and force the defense out of here.
Ouch.
But Janu gets away with murder.
Why even try to escape that? Just die. Just die. Okay.
Well, at least they get bumper out of it. Build up some ult charge, I guess. Oh, because you have no time. That's why you try and escape.
Yikes.
Wow, and Eileen doesn't even touch. I mean, not that it mattered, but
No.
to me, you really do only have that one push, that one dive. Again, you force the rotation. Runaway's happy to give it to you. Everybody's okay. But then Janu being able to sneak over and kill Rika is just like, you have no dive now.
Just forcefully try to go through house, like the... I don't know what you call it, like the arc bridge.
Catwalk?
Is that catwalk? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. I don't know why Rika was where he was when he got blown up by Janu, especially with no health. It seemed like Janu was just on top of like bunker or somewhere similar, and was able to just force his way in. Yeah, this is quite the thonker here.
Yeah, that's a
And
6-man
again,
finish, isn't it?
okay, well at least this time they
Janu.
are running the D.Va on defense.
Please stay this. Please stay on this. Oh no.
I don't know. This is the most reasonable defensive dive comp we've seen from LGD so far, in my opinion. But Runaway in their comfort zone as well here. Bumper doesn't give a fuck, just jumps right in. Hacksaw got really aggressive there, man. These people are opening themselves up to antis, and Secret's just not landing them.
Yeah. I thought also Twilight was pretty open. Ouch. Oh well, that's all she wrote. Yeah. Oh, Eileen Beeston. What?
Yo, heal me, bro. I'm carrying. Stitch gets a huge D-mech here. Oh.
Oh my god. Disco Sombra.
Here we go. Yo, Sombra's my favorite nano target because of how great her gun sounds. It's the only time a gun in Overwatch sounds like a real gun.
Yeah, here we go. Okay, that's an MP. But
oh, why do you wake him up?
They just left click. Oh. Rika gets pummeled.
And that's it. The nano monkey dive is enough. There's no ults up from LGD other than their own EMP basically, and they get nothing out of it.
Yeah. No, this wasn't a close series.
Yeah, I really don't feel like it was. Like, obviously LGD took the first map and they had like, they looked okay on the second map, but I think once RunAway realized, oh, we don't have to like show any crazy strats, we can just run Brig McCree into this and they can't handle it.
Yeah.
They just rolled really hard.
Yeah, they just also completely had Gaga's number at some point. I think theoretically, I don't think like LGD. Oh, Huxel, what up?
Yeah,
Huxel,
this was why everyone was worried about him at the end of the match. Slime being the support IRL as well.
yeah. Huh.
But yeah, I think this was not a super close series. I think LGD kind of, to be honest, I'm not trying to take away from Gaga. That rollout on Hammond was great, but that to me that amounts to like a lucky round win or a
Yes.
lucky point win, because
Mm.
that one play really did swing it that hard. Control is the most snowbally
Yes.
game type, and that is like I said, the strongest opening to a control round I have ever seen.
Yeah. No, I think there's some statistic that Baroy once said where I think you win 64% of the fights, of the maps or sub-maps on Control where you win the first fight, so that's already a pretty hefty advantage you got.
Yeah, and that was quite a resounding fight win.
Yeah.
As well, almost no ult charge gained for the opponents whatsoever. So,
Well, he
yeah,
did have full ult, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that I don't know. This was a very dominant win, and it did not surprise me when it looked even more dominant the next day when RunAway played T1W. They stomped in the finals as well.
Yeah.
4-0. So
Mm-hmm.
they just look so good. Do you think they can convert and will be able to perform at the Overwatch League?
I think, yeah. I think so. I'm not sure if they are contended for winning it, but I think like
Yeah,
if someone asked me, gave me like the current rumored rosters and asked me where they would land, I would definitely say they're a playoff team. For
do you
sure.
think playoffs are gonna? I mean, we're assuming playoffs are expanded to more than 6, right?
Yeah.
Probably
But
8.
what I mean, yeah, they're probably top 6, and then I don't think they will need the tournament if that's how they decided.
So, and you think that? Do you think that RunAway like needs to get more than just their current 8-player roster?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I agree. My worry with them is I think that their weakest position is DPS.
Mm-hmm.
And they already have 4 DPS players.
Yeah.
I don't think they're picking up any more DPS if they get picked up as a unit. I think down the line, having a weak DPS core could end up hurting them depending on how the meta goes.
Yeah, I'm pretty.
That's kind of the only thing I'm concerned about. I think tank line and support line wise, they are very strong and equipped to play in multiple metas. But the DPS core is the one that I'm the most worried about.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think they will realize that at the latest in mid-season. They will probably then rid themselves of some players that haven't been performing, especially on the DPS positions, and then will stock up on top tier talent. I'm pretty sure. Then again, who's left at that point, right? Like they probably depend on Contenders Korea already having sort of shown the new rising stars, and hopefully those are over 18. But
Yeah, that's the question, is how many good Korean players that are of age will even be left by mid-season for them to take.
then again, with 20 teams and so many Korean DPS players playing in the league, there probably is one high-skilled, disgruntled one where you can just spend.
Yeah, you might be able to buy them from within the Overwatch League. That's also true. Just because they're signed to an Overwatch League team doesn't mean there's no way to get them.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
For instance, if they could get, what would be insane for them? That's a good one. If you could pick any player to, like, one, you get one free player. It doesn't matter what kind of contract situations they're in. You have infinity money and infinity goodwill.
Architect.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Yeah.
I mean, if though there are no limits, you're taking a superstar flex DPS, and to me that's Architect Carpe. Those are your choices.
Yeah.
I feel like as far as who's more likely to integrate well into the team, I would pick Architect.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a knock against Carpe, but I don't know that Carpe is I don't know. He just plays a more solo carry play style.
Yeah.
And I think that RunAway is very team play oriented, very communication oriented. And I think that Architect in a full Korean roster, he's a big brain player. I feel like he could fit in well with RunAway.
Even like someone like a Fleta would be interesting.
Yeah, I would say Fleta. Yeah, I think Fleta could be a good pick. I see Fleta and Architect as very similar players, and I would put Architect probably above Fleta, but that could also be just because Fleta was trying to do the Fleta deadlift all season with yet again a bunch of terrible teammates around him. It's like this guy's cursed.
Yeah. I feel like Fleta's hero pool is bigger though, at least from what we have seen. Architect, what have we seen of Architect? Obviously, he has a marvelous Genji, great Widow. Yeah, what else is there really?
I'm fairly certain he can
McCree.
play Junkrat, Doomfist, McCree. Yep.
Yeah, Junk, definitely.
His Tracer
Doomfist,
is
really?
kind of. I would say the one hero I would want to see him play is Brigitte, but that's also a hero that I haven't seen a lot of from Fleta that I'm not convinced he can play either.
Yeah. Zarya as well. Neither from them have shown any, right?
Yeah, not that I'm remembering anyways. Nothing impressive on Zarya at all.
Yeah, that could be interesting, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see how Sominsu develops. He obviously didn't see much play time in this event, but I think he was their one of their most important players in the postseason of Korean contenders, being able to pick up the slack on Zarya and flex onto a bunch of heroes, play Hanzo for them, play Junkrat for them. So I think he was exactly what they needed when they needed it, and that's a hard quality to find in a flex DPS player. So I think if Sominsu can kind of step up, I think it's unlikely that he'll hit the same peaks that we see from players like Architect and Fleta, but I think if he can continue to be kind of like the gap filler role, that maybe DPS won't be enough of an issue for them that they will need to do mid-season pickups. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I also think there might be an issue with, if I'm thinking, because obviously Haxel and Stitch are the guys that have been around for the longest time in RunAway. So depending on what the calling structure is with them, it might not be able. Like it's possible that RunAway is in a situation where you can't plug and play DPS.
I think you can. I think they played at least maybe with Stitch. I'm not sure with Haxal, but I think you can definitely take Stitch out. He's not a very vocal player. They played plenty without him. They succeeded well without him. And actually, Bumper was on the roster before Stitch was, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, true.
Haxal is the most tenured member, and Bumper is second.
Yeah, of course, because of his stay on main support, right? But yeah. Was it main
Yeah,
support?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's certainly an interesting story to develop if they indeed do enter the Overwatch League as one team. We
I
don't
mean,
know that
that's
for
the
sure.
current roster for a while, or the current roster, the current rumor.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a while, it just seemed like a pipe dream for fanboys.
Mm.
Um, and I was, worried to buy into it, but at least that's what it seems. It's been reported several times that this is a serious thing going on, so it'd be hype to see another team because, of course, we had Lunatic High, which is one of those OG kind of Apex Korean God rosters, come into the league and not do that well. And now we have RunAway, who's also one of those very long tenured, Korean teams, been around since the Apex era, even though, a lot of this roster isn't the roster they had during the Apex time.
Mm-hmm.
It would still be really cool to see another one of those, maybe the only remaining kind of old school Korean roster, be able to make it into Overwatch League as a whole. I think that'd just be great for the league story wise.
Yeah. Because what I can say is that individual runaway players also had tryouts, so they did scrim individually as well, which is just fair, I guess, from an organizational standpoint, right? Just to like let the players sort of like build an impression on other teams if your deal doesn't work out.
Yeah, and I think it's also good for getting the group deal because I'm sure teams are kind of hearing whispers of what's going on in other trials and
Mm-hmm.
like who teams are preferring. And if you find out that Bumper goes in and plays in solo trials for another team and just dominates people without the comm structure, without the really good backline play, and he's still popping off, you're just like, man, maybe this guy's the real deal. Maybe it's worth getting the whole team,
Yeah.
not just Bumper. So I think it as long as they do well in the individual tryouts, it only stands to benefit all parties.
Yeah. From what I've heard, some teams were quite critical of how Huxell performed. Weren't impressed, but yeah. I mean, some players are just also like if you've been playing in one team so long as Huxell has, I don't think like the scrim structure just doesn't isn't suited to evaluate him. I feel like because his value then comes from adaptation towards the system that Runaway has. And if you don't have that, then he's probably not going to have like be able to align himself as quickly. Which doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad pickup for the entire season. Then again, I realize the limitations of scrim structures overall because of how much time you're actually getting with the players. So, especially if he wants to try out for several teams, you can't run like 3 weeks of daily scrim blocks with him. So, yeah, there's still some issues with the scrim structure. I think in general too. Like if you for instance followed the Facility stuff, where he's now sick and with food poisoning. I mean, that's obviously an unfortunate situation. At the same time, I think I'm not sure when the deadline closes, but teams need to have 8 players by sometime in October, so it's not much
No, I
more.
think the 8 players isn't until like beginning of December.
Oh,
You've
really?
actually got
Okay.
yeah, you've got a pretty decent amount of time before they have to have everyone signed. I think it's definitely true though that a big like kind of mix and match grab bag trial structure is not a very good way of finding out who would be the best in a structured team scenario with the specific team and staff you're putting together.
Yeah.
I think that Hacksaw is one of those people that's been in the same system for a long time, and the team's been kind of around Hacksaw as well.
Yeah.
Um, so it's also entirely possible that, I mean, he has shown to be an adaptable player. He's definitely not just a Genji one trick. I think he's shown that he can play a lot of other heroes, maybe not to an elite level, but he looks competent on like Junkrat, on Pharah, on Brigitte. I think his Brigitte is actually pretty solid. But I think that there's a potential that even if he does bad initially, you give him time in the new system and time to adapt, and he'll be able to. So he does have enough of a veteran status that you kind of want to give him the benefit of the doubt there,
Yeah.
but he also just has some spotty stuff, like, and again, maybe we don't want to judge him too hardly on the series. He looked like he was going through something ill, maybe, but his Sombra play is pretty poor.
Yeah. Not as poor as Eileen's, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll see. It's certainly, it's kind of a shame that we're currently it's in such a drought in terms of like high level Overwatch, right? What's the next thing coming up? Is it trials?
Yes, yeah. I think NA trials start in like a week and a half. I think they're next weekend. I'm not sure when Korean trials start though, because Korean Open Division was a while ago. Let me see if I can actually pull that up, because that feels like that should be happening. Let's see. Is there a date? There's not a date on Liquipedia yet. So I do not know when it will be, but we know Contenders is starting in November, and Trials takes about 3 weeks. 2 weeks of, well, no, it's all round robin, right? I think it's just purely a round robin with no playoff in Trials. Is that correct?
I think so, yeah. It's certainly interesting. Like, there's obviously 2 academy teams now in trials. So
Yeah, one in NA, one in EU, yeah. Interestingly, in EU, it's the only academy team.
I think what's inevitably going to happen is if one of those teams fails, it's quite possible that they'll just get straight up dropped. Then someone gets a nice paycheck for their contender slot and they're buying their team. I don't think an organization, an Overwatch League organization, is going to sit out on a thing of contenders and try with the same players next trials again and go through open. I don't think that's likely to happen.
Well, yeah, they're definitely not going to sit out a season of Contenders and then try and play in through open. I do not see that as a thing.
Yeah.
I definitely think they'll be trying to buy a slot to get back in. The question is, how many players do you keep? Like, if I'm let's say Hurricane, and we're assuming none of these players, because despite Hurricane getting relegated, I could see a couple of their players going to Overwatch League. So assuming you don't lose any Overwatch League players, like, there's not a lot of players on this roster that I think are easy to replace with a better player within the EU scene. Like, I don't think they're all, like, best in their role, but I don't think they have any like just really bad players or something like that.
No, I
Now in
agree.
NA, for GGA, it's a little different because we know for a fact one of their best players, their main tank Smurf, is already in Overwatch League. We know you're losing him.
Yeah.
So he's a little harder to replace. And then there's a question of if any of the other players will be going. You think about players like Gray. You think about maybe Sharp or Fisher. These are players that I could see going to the Overwatch League. So I think it really depends on if you lose people or not, because if you lose a bunch of people to Overwatch League, you're basically rebuilding anyways. But if you don't lose, like, does Hurricane really need to rebuild to be able to make it back in? Like, I feel like you keep the same roster probably for trials. You're probably comfortable beating EU Open Div teams. I don't think you're losing in Open Division or in trials to these OD teams. But if you want to do the roster rebuild, you do it in between trials and contenders, I think.
Yeah. I think that's
I
likely.
th I think we'll probably see other than players that that get taken to Overwatch League. I think it's likely that the majority of the rosters stay the same for trials, and we won't see that shuffle till later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I'm a sleepy boy, so I'll probably end the stream here. If anyone made it through here, thanks for watching. Probably not. I'll also upload this to a YouTube channel. Probably I won't cut any real things out. I'll probably make the beginning a little more smooth if the YouTube editor lets me, and then this possibly also at the end. Maybe I'm just lazy. I'm just going to dump all of this into the YouTube channel. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching.